Aloha everyone, my name is Cap, and in today's video we are going to be going over Sanity. So Sanity is the unified content platform that powers better digital experiences. Sanity recently announced its release of the Content Lake. It's a real-time database that gives you access to your content however and wherever you need it. Instead of thinking of the world in terms of web pages, structured content frees you to think of content as data, which is well-formed records that let you reshape and present your content in any format. So let me run you through a quick instance of setting up Sanity, a crash course of sorts. And you can find me on Twitter at Kapehe_OK, and you can find the entire Sanity team at slack.sanity.io. It is the Slack community for Sanity. All right, let's get started. So here we have sanity.io, content as data. Now, to get started, we're going to click on the blue button that says Get Started. So if I click on that, it takes us to the Create page. Here you'll find a bunch of starters, blog, portfolios, e-commerce. This helps you get up and running with Sanity and a front end, depending on whichever one you choose. But in today's tutorial, we are going to be using this npm command. So the first part of it is npm install the Sanity CLI. The next part is Sanity Init. This will be initializing a brand new Sanity project. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to grab my terminal. And here I'm going to put that command in, hit enter. It's going to install a Sanity CLI, and then it's going to prompt me to log in. Whether you like to log in with Google, GitHub, or email password, choose whichever one. I'm going to choose GitHub. It's going to redirect me, log me in. Awesome. That is done. And right away, it's going to ask to create new project. That's the Sanity Init part. So I'm going to hit enter. We'll do Avocado for Avocado Labs. And then default data set, yes. And then it's going to be creating that. And we're going to double check that the path is correct. And it is. Now we have movie, project, e-commerce, or blog. I'm going to choose blog. The other ones, e-commerce or movie, will have a schema already built up for you with data. The blog one that I chose is just a pre-built schema. And then at the very bottom, there was just empty. You're going to create your own schema. You just need to get a Sanity instance running. So while that builds, we won't have any data in here. It'll just be the schema setup, and I'll show you all of that. Now it is done. I'm going to cd into Avocado, and I'm going to open it up in VS Code using the shortcut code space period. So that opens up. Let me move this to the side. And let me pull in my VS Code. All right. So let's get familiar with what's going on with this code. So over here, we have our different folders, but let me show you something real quick. So we have the sanity.json. If you're going to be using Sanity and a front end, you would need to know a little bit about the sanity.json file. So right here, this project ID, this is how you're going to tell your front end, hey, look for this project with this ID. And if you quickly need to find it, you can always find it here in the sanity.json. Also, we see the name that we named it, and then a couple other things that we get by default. But in the future, when you need to add it to a front end, just know that the project ID lives here. All right, so we have node modules, plugins. Plugins will live here. There are none in this one, but schemas. So we have, because we chose the blog one, we have author, category, and post. Block content and schema are for other things. Schema.js is where, and let me make this just a little bit bigger. Schema.js is where all of our schema types are brought in. So we have all of them in here, author, post, category, and then they're all down here for our schemas. We won't see this on the front end for our, front end being the Sanity Studio, but we will see post, category, and author. But without talking much more about this, let's just look at it. So I'm going to hit Control tilde to open up my terminal within my VS Code, and I'm going to run the command sanity start. So Sanity start will get my Sanity Studio running up, and it will show me all the schemas that were pre-built because we chose blog. And it will live at, I'll just go to the URL now, localhost 33, if I can type, 3333. And now remember, whatever you logged in when you did the Sanity login stuff, make sure you choose the correct one here. I chose GitHub. I'm going to choose GitHub. And it should be done. Yeah. So it's done over here. And we have localhost 3333, but we also have it here. So this is our Sanity Studio. As I was saying before, post, author, and category are all here. Now, if we wanted to add a post here, we could click on this little pencil and our document type would show up. Title, slug, author, main image. This should match our, let me close this, was in post, title, slug, author, main image, and then the other ones that were down at the bottom. This is how our schema was built, and this is how it appears on the Sanity Studio side. Now, there are some parts that are linked together. So, for example, see this author type. This author is referencing this author. So I'm going to go over here, and I'll show you what that code looks like. So in my post, we have an author that is a type of reference. So it's not a type of string, a type of image like this is. It's solely going to reference an entire other type, which we called author. And that is here. And if we go back to our studio and click new, we will see, and if we click on this, it'll collapse. We will see that whole schema laid out for us. Now let's put some data in here and see what it looks like as we hook it all up. Now I'm going to go to post. I'm going to create a new one because this is a blog post. My first blog. And you can either create your own slug or generate, and it will grab what your title was. Author will leave empty for a minute, but main image. Okay, so let me grab an image. I'm going to pull in this Monstera leaf image that I love so much. And there it is. All right. And then from here, if I want to, and I will minimize just a little bit, I can edit this with the hit on edit details. And depending on the aspect ratio that you're going to be using, like say you have like a author card and the aspect ratio is like a square, or you have a hero image on a blog post and you need more of a panorama, this allows you to upload one image and use it across different sizes. Now, the really cool thing about this is you can crop and then hotspot. So I'm going to hotspot. Let me open this up just a little bit. I'm going to hotspot the base of this leaf so that no matter what, if this image is being shown, it will always show that hotspot that I saved for it. And then let's put something in the body. We'll do, this is my first blog post. Enjoy. All right. Now that is saved, we have, or that is done, we have the author type to also fill in. Now, because with Sanity, everything is constantly being synced to the cloud, we had changes just now that were saved. So if I were to navigate away from this page, everything would be, it would just hang out and wait for me. I'm going to go to my author and create a new author. Actually, I'm going to do my bunnies. Generate. Oh, it did the and for the and. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to pull over a picture of Bonnie and Clyde. They are my bunnies. And I definitely want to do I definitely want to do a hotspot on them because I don't want anything else except their cute faces to be in. And it looks good across the board. Awesome. Exit out of that. Oh, they're so cute. And then, hi. We are Bonnie and Clyde. So I'm going to publish that. It's going to save. Now I'm going to come back to post. My first blog post is still there. And author, if I do this drop down, it should have Bonnie and Clyde. So they are the author of my first blog post. They get full credit. All right. So now that that is done, let's actually look at some of the data that is happening behind the scenes. So we have this UI that we can customize and we can use as we need for our projects. But behind the scenes, we have all the data being saved every time we type something in. So if we click on these little three dots up here and we click on inspect, we'll see all of our data here. And we have all the cropping in the hotspot for the image. So we have the slug, the title, the author reference, and that is going to reference, that ID will be the same as the Bonnie and Clyde author. And then we have our block content over here in the body. And yeah, this is where you can find it. Now let's add a little bit of customization to our first blog. Now, if we go back to our code, we go to post, let's go to title, and let's add a description of make titles short and sweet. Save that, go back, and right away we see our description for our title show up. Now we can also add different fields. So we have our title, we have our slug. What if we wanted a summary? Let's come down here, open up a new object, and if you notice, we are just typing in our fields array. Each one has its own object within that fields array. Now we'll do name. Name is the name of the field that we're about to create. So we will name it summary. Every good blog post needs a summary. Title. The title is what shows up in our studio. So we'll want to make it look nice. Do a capital S. And then it only needs to be a type of string. Save that. And we should see summary. This is my first summary. And then again, if we come up here, click on inspect, we will see, I don't want to miss it. Yeah, summary. This is my first summary. So right away we have our data. All right, now if we wanted to query for this data, there are two ways in Sanity to query. Grok, which is an in-house made query language, or GraphQL. So whichever one you prefer, I'm going to show you how to query with Grok. And then if you need to hook it up to your front end and you have your front end talking to the Sanity backend, you would query for your data and it would look like this. So right here, this hamburger menu, we see vision. If I were to zoom out, let me just show you. It would also pop up here. I was zoomed in so much that it's like oh, it's still there. But it would pop away and do the avocado, do the hamburger menu, food. So let's click on vision. And here, let me get rid of that. So here, this is a playground for your own data. I'll show you another Grok playground where you don't have to write a bunch of data to practice your Grok queries. But if you want to make sure that your querying is right, you can practice it here. So we're going to do an asterisk to grab all of our content, square brackets, and we'll do underscore type is equal to, we'll do author. We'll run that query. And right away, we see our author, Bonnie and Clyde. And if we had another one in there, let's actually go create another one real quick. And we'll just do just a name. Publish, publish. And rerun this, and it should have two, yep. So Bonnie and Clyde and Kapehe. There's definitely more data for Bonnie and Clyde because there's an image. So that's how we query for a type of author. Let's actually do post. We know we have post, run the query, and here's my first blog post and my first summary. Now, if we wanted to go further into our data, we would open this up and let's grab just the summary. Let's do it in order. Let's grab just the title and just the summary. Run that query, and there we go. This is my first summary, my first blog. If we had more than one, they would just list here, and everyone that has a title and a summary would show up. So that's where you can practice querying for your data. Now, if we wanted to use another Grok playground, we can go to grok.dev. And here there is a lot of data already waiting for us. And we can do different queries and hit play, and all that will come up. We can change this. Let me change it to false, and all the false ones will show up. And then you can get more here. You can do and show completed. Oh, there we go. So here is another awesome tool to play around with Grok. Now let's go back. Oh, too far. All right. So now that we have all that done, we have our post, we have a couple authors in there. Let's deploy this. So first, we're going to go back to our code. And I'm going to do Control tilde. Let's open up a new terminal. And we're going to run the command Sanity Deploy. Now here we need to choose a host name. I'm going to do Avocado Labs. Maybe it's available. It looks like it is. So you will need to pick a unique one. So if you wanted to do blogs may be taken already. I'm surprised Avocado Labs is not taken. All right, so now it's done, and we can click on this, or we can go to avocadolabs.sanity.studio. And here our Sanity Studio lives. We have our post, we have our authors. Now I'm going to show you how Sanity is real time. So we're going to pull our deployed one right there. And let's go right here. So on the left is my local host. On the right is my deployed version. Now, as I click and do stuff in either one, it is automatically syncing and it will show both. So if I click on first blog, I'm going to come over here, click on first blog, and let's edit here. Now, notice there's me in both, but this is Presence API. It's showing your teammates where they are within the studio. And if we were to go up here, I mean, I don't have anyone in here with me, but they would show up right here and I would be able to click and navigate to where they are. So that's what's showing up here. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to say, yay. And then over here on my local host side, it synced right away and it was very real time. So no matter where you are working in your studio, all instances of it will be able to see it. Same thing over here. If I got rid of that in the local version, on the deployed version, it goes away. Now, if we were to click on this little review changes button, this is a little pencil and it will show all of the things that have changed since it was last published. Also, it will show all the timestamps for things that have happened. So if I publish this, it will show published just now. And then if I go over here, we can see the same thing, that it was edited 9 minutes ago, 23 seconds ago, and published just now. So now we see that both are real time and we are able to edit not only in localhost, but also in the deployed version, and both will be able to see that change. That would happen anywhere within our studio. So where to take it from here? Let me pull this out. Taking it from here, sanity.io/docs is a great place to start. You will find all the information you need about our content lake, Sanity Studio, more about Grok. So if we were to click into here, there's a cheat sheet. You'll be able to see this data and how we can query for it and what would come up. So there's a lot of helpful things here. Now also, slack.sanity.io. This is our Slack community, and if you join here, the Sanity team is there and a lot of great community members. If you have any questions, definitely be sure to introduce yourself in the introductions channel. And if you need any help, the help channel is really awesome. We also have channels for getting started. And if you are just getting started with Sanity and you have questions that getting started crowd would be really into, definitely go check out that channel. And we're also trying to answer questions before they're asked in that channel. If you would like, you can also join the Sanity sanity.io/exchange. And here you will find a lot of community members sharing guides, tools and plugins, starters, snippets. So if we go to the community, here is the community of Sanity, people creating Sanity stuff or just wanting to be a part of this community. It's really awesome. If we were to click on one, you could see their profile, things that they've created, guides, any contributions about the person, and then their social links and whether or not they're available for work. So if you go to this page and start creating your own guides and creating your own snippets for other people to use. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for hanging out with me for this quick intro to Sanity. I hope it helped. I hope it answered a couple questions. And if you have more questions, definitely reach out. Reach out in the Slack community or on Twitter. Again, my Twitter handle is Kapehe_OK, and my DMs are open. Ask me anything. All right. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all around.